Hello everyone. Welcome to another video. So today's video, we're gonna just do some chit chats about the full moon energy and just kind of talk about, some end of the year stuff, catch up with me, that kind of thing. I don't really have anything exciting planned. I just kind of wanted to just turn on the camera and get something recorded so I can put something out on the channel. So if you want to hang out with me and you want to chit chat and you want to just see what's been going on, grab a drink, get cozy, and let's get into today's video. So my loves, today is the full moon in Gemini. If you want to know how this full moon is going to be reflecting on your personal life for the next, I usually say it's about for the next, few days to a week. It's going to be wherever Gemini is hitting in your birth chart. So you're going to have to know your birth chart and look for which house Gemini represents. And then that is the area where this full moon energy is going to be touching on in your personal life. Gemini is my first house, so that is going to be tapping into all of the first house traits, which is the outer appearance, the physical body, and just kind of how I put myself out there into the world and how other people perceive me. I just feel really good. I feel really good. I feel really happy. I woke up, I weighed myself this morning. It's technically my midpoint between the last week's weigh-in and this upcoming weigh-in. So Sunday is usually like my middle point. So I like to weigh myself on Sundays at least to kind of get an idea of where is my weight and maybe what is it going to look like for, the following week. And so I weighed myself this morning and I was down a couple pounds. So I was actually excited about that because last week's weigh-in, this last Thursday, didn't reflect any weight loss. In fact, it stayed the same from the previous Thursday. During that week, I was on my period. I had a lot of bloating. I had a lot of just period symptoms and all of that good stuff. And so I feel like a lot of the lack of seeing the scale move, even though on my midweek weigh-in, I saw the scale move a little bit, it was frustrating. And so this last Thursday when I weighed myself and I saw that the number didn't move, and in fact, I thought it went up a pound. So it just depends. It's just kind of fluctuated a little bit. It made me really upset, and I found myself really getting emotional about it and just kind of feeling like all of the doubts and all of like those feelings that come with frustration with weight loss just really came up to the surface for me. It was a huge trigger, and I had to give myself time to just kind of deal with the fact that, there's going to be weeks where the number is not going to move, and there's going to be weeks or multiple weeks where I'm going to stall. And that's just the way weight loss goes. Weight loss is not linear. It changes, it fluctuates. Our body changes on a daily basis. So I have to not be so hard on myself. And so I found myself really just tearing myself up over it. And it was a lot. And then when I was sitting down to do my daily planner, I realized, oh, we have a full moon coming up. So my little meltdown that I had on Thursday showed me that, okay, what was coming up for Sunday, I was in that shadow period of the full moon. And so finding out that the full moon today is in Gemini, which is in my first house of the physical body and my outward appearance, it just makes sense why I had such a meltdown and why not seeing the scale move triggered me so much. And, when you think about it, it's like the scale isn't moving, but it doesn't mean that I gain weight, So I should have been okay with that, and it wasn't okay with me. So I had some tough lessons with that, and that was kind of like one of the things that I had to navigate this weekend. The night before, so what happens is like when I'm when I am keeping track in my daily planner of the moon energy, I also kind of take into consideration what is happening leading up to the full moon. So some of the stuff that I wrote in my planner was, you know, sharing about my little meltdown that I had with the scale. And then the night before the full moon, I actually dreamt of a bullfrog. So that was definitely an animal, a spirit animal visitation dream. So I did do my usual research where I do a, you know, I Google search, or I have books on spirit animals, and I looked up the frog, the meaning of the frog. And so it is a transformation time and a body detox. So it was just really interesting to see how the spirit animal of the frog visited me the day, like a day or two after the whole meltdown happened. And the message of the frog is all about you're going through a transformation time, and your body is going through a detox. So it was really interesting about that. I really love that, and I feel like that is kind of the theme of my full moon for me, at least me personally. It is reflecting on just the way that I look at myself, the way I perceive myself, the way that I put myself out there for others to see me. But also it's just representing the literal detox that my body is going through. That's definitely happening for me. So that was kind of nice to see that. So I love it. So the full moon last night, I actually, where's my, did I bring it? Yes. So last night I was, you know, trying to get myself back into, I've been actually the last couple days been trying to get myself back into a meditation routine. And I normally meditate at night. That's like my favorite time to do it. And I've been trying to get myself back into some sort of routine with that because I fell off the bandwagon majority of the year. Like I really just took a step back from my spiritual practices. And so meditation has been like the first main thing that got me into the spiritual practice. So man, the night before, I think it was like the night, Friday night, I did a sound healing meditation, and that thing was amazing. I had the best sleep and I had just these beautiful awakening thoughts, messages that came to me. It was just really beautiful. And I haven't had those feelings in a while because, like I said, I've really taken a step back from my spiritual practice. And if you're in a spiritual practice, if you work with crystals, if you do all that stuff, you will understand when I say there will always be a crystal that will just kind of reach out to you. It's almost like it feels like it just, you're so attracted to it. You have to have multiple pieces of it. You just want to know more about it. Like there's usually a crystal that you're really drawn to and to work with. And so for the last few months, that has been the watermelon tourmaline for me. I think I've mentioned it before in other videos, but I acquired multiple pieces of watermelon tourmaline. I want to say all throughout October. I think October was the month that I got really obsessed with it. I was obsessed with watermelon tourmaline. Tourmalines in general, they're one of my favorite crystals, but the watermelon tourmaline really kind of stood out to me even months earlier or last year because it had a lot to do with the womb. Watermelon tourmaline is looked at as a very feminine, fertile kind of a crystal. It has those energies, and a lot of people work with it to work with their wombs or their sacrals or healing the womb or all of that good stuff. And so I've always loved watermelon tourmaline for that purpose, because if there's any part of my energetic body that needs healing, it's my womb. It is my sacral. And so I'm always working with that. And so in October, the watermelon tourmaline started to become this obsession again. I just felt this need to find pieces, and I really wanted to invest a lot of my energy into a really gorgeous, huge piece. And so I have one today to show you. This is the watermelon tourmaline that I acquired. Oh, look at how gorgeous this thing is. I acquired this piece. Let me see if I can, oh my gosh, look at the zoom. I acquired this piece in October. And basically my crystal dealer is the most amazing and most sweetest person I've ever met, crystal wise. And he has been on this like journey of traveling to different states and checking out the crystals and checking out the shops and like the shows. He's like a nomad with that kind of stuff. So anyways, he was touring through California and he went to a lot of shops in California that I've never even heard of. And he has access to a lot of wholesale sellers. And so wholesale meaning these crystals are priced at a little bit better than they would be if you just go to a retail store. So he, oh my gosh, as I said that, my angel number just came up on the clock. That is so cool. So anyways, he was on the hunt and he knew I was looking for watermelon tourmalines, and I told him I'm really looking for a big piece. These guys are not cheap. They're rather pricey. If I wanted to get myself like my hands on a really fancy piece of watermelon tourmaline, it would be lots and lots and lots of money. So I was aware of that. I had a budget, you know. I told myself, okay, I'm not gonna go crazy. And he ended up finding this piece along with a couple other big pieces, but he mainly found this one. And the cool part about this one is it's crystallized on one side. So I don't know if you could see it. You could kind of see it a little bit. This whole part is crystallized, and I don't know, he gave me this whole like this whole idea of what it means. It has the pink inner core, and then the outside is the green tourmaline. It's a chunky chunk. It's a half size. It reminds me of the moon. It's huge. It's huge. So normally my pieces of watermelon tourmaline are like tiny, like maybe the size of a thumbnail, like they're really tiny, and it makes it really hard for me to take them out and meditate with them or carry them with me when I go places because I'm always afraid of losing them. So I wanted something really big that I could just have a good grip on and, you know, keep it with me and I wouldn't lose it when I took it out. So this one was definitely a little pricey, but it was within my budget. And I told myself, you know what, I'm probably never going to find something like this. You know, he's getting a good price for it. And I decided to take her. So I love the crystallized side of her. She's just really unique and different and just chunky. And that was like the selling point for me. So yeah, I've just been loving it, and the watermelon tourmaline has been my crystal of choice lately. So I do feel like she has definitely stepped in for me, especially during my weight loss journey and this whole transformative journey that I am going through, because I acquired her in October, and that's also when the journey started. So love that for me. But it's just been really cool to kind of start to slowly get back into my spiritual practices and, you know, just getting back into things that I walked away from this year. Like, I feel like 2024 has just been a year of a lot of quiet time, self-reflection, a lot of taking a pause, walking away from things, just a lot of separation, distance. Like, that's really been 2024 for me. But I feel like I'm slowly starting to get back into some of the practices that I once did that once made me really happy. And it kind of like a rediscovery of self again. I feel like a lot of this distancing that I've been doing has been because there's a shift that's happening with me. And so I think, you know, I like to think of it as like when a snake is shedding its skin, it hides. At least I think they hide. I don't know if they hide, but intuitively, like, that's what I'm thinking. It's just this sense to me of needing to go away and go inward and give yourself that time and energy to do the transformation, and then you come back out and get back into your old routines or maybe even new routines. So for me personally, I definitely feel like there is a shift happening with my, you know, with my practice and with the way I'm doing things. Some stuff will probably stay, but I know that there's going to be a lot of big changes. So, you know, we just gotta roll with it and see what happens. But yeah, you guys, that's pretty much everything I wanted to talk about. Life has been good. You know, I've just really been focusing on preparing for hosting Christmas at my house with family. Been good. Like, life has been good. There's really no complaints. December is usually a quiet month for me. I prefer to be quiet. I don't really go out as much in December. I avoid the stores. I avoid as much as I can. I avoid especially the mall. I avoid like Barnes and Noble. I avoid all of my favorite stores unless I go like in the morning when they just open, because the Christmas shoppers, like the rush, the busy parking lots, like all of that it makes me nervous. It makes me really anxious. So I don't really like to do that. I wish I had more to share. I wish I had more to talk about and, you know, be a little bit more interesting, but that's pretty much it. December, like I said, it's a closing of the year. So I don't know. I may not have another video to put out before the end of December. This might be it, you guys, because once Christmas gets here, I really like to just devote time and attention to family time. And then Hubs is off for New Year's, so we're going to be having that together, and I love that because last year I did not. So looking forward to spending New Year's with him. And yeah, and then we just dive into January. January is going to be different. Hubs's work schedule is changing just a little bit, so my availability for one-on-one sessions is going to kind of switch over a little bit to more availability at the beginning of the week, and my weekends are pretty much going to be unavailable. So that might make it difficult for clients who are normally booking with me on weekends. I am going to probably put out a thing where, like, if my availability doesn't match yours, we can work something out. Like, I'm willing to do that. But because his schedule's changing and he's going to now have weekends off, I obviously want to make sure my availability mirrors his, because quality hubby time is important to me. So yeah, there's gonna be some changes, but it's exciting and it's good, and I'm looking forward to it. And yeah, I can't wait. So anyways, my loves, thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you are having an amazing December. I hope that you are, you know, doing the things that bring you happiness and joy, and also reflecting on what's to come in the new year. And if I don't see you guys in another video before 2025, then Merry Christmas to you guys. Happy New Year, and I will see you next year. I just had to say it. I will see you guys next year. I will see you guys in my next video very, very soon. Love you guys. Take care. Bye.